What's up, everyone? Welcome to Pat's Chat. We are a proud member of the CLNS Media Network. Make sure to hit subscribe to the Pat's Chat channel, Patriots Press Pass. Turn on notifications for when a new video drops on the channel. Also, make sure to like, rate, review, subscribe. Leave a review right this second. Pause the podcast. Don't even pause the podcast. Keep listening to us and leave a review wherever you get your podcasts. Michael Hurley, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. We should also announce. Hold on a second. I'm going to move my microphone. I don't want to make the big noise.
I'll do it for you.
I did it.
Good
We
job.
should announce we're starting with the fundraiser for Robert Kraft, right? This is we need to raise some funds. Robert Kraft has stated the financial implications of the Gerard Mayo firing. So it's tough times. We're all struggling in different ways. So if you want to donate now.
Yeah. Apparently it was very hard personally and in the old wallet for Robert Kraft.
I joked with you.
He's never going to make a bad decision ever again.
This was a comment, if you missed it, Robert Kraft made on the Quick Snap podcast with Brian Hoyer and David Andrews. And I said to you, like, he has said many times it was one of the toughest decisions he's ever had to make. I didn't realize that if we just let him continue talking, it would have been like, because it cost a lot of money. I always thought it was more of an emotional thing, but who knew?
Yeah. Seems like it was a little bit of both. But yeah, it turns out giving a head coach a multi-year contract and a bunch of staff members multi-year contracts and then having to continue paying them after they were fired for a year costs a lot of money. And it doesn't seem like Gerard Mayo is in a rush to offset that contract with another job.
But
I haven't seen him getting interviewed for any of these head coaching vacancies.
That's true. I saw DeMarcus Covington got requested for an interview. So some in the tree are, but I do think I'm not a business major or even a minor or even an understander, but I do believe if you host 2 playoff games and potentially 3, you probably make all that money back.
I think he's doing all right. I think he's feeling pretty good about the Mike Vrabel era. So I have this new segment idea. It's called First Take, where we get on here and we give our initial take about whatever's going on in the week.
Should I wear some silly hats, perhaps?
I used to wear hats like that, I feel like, in high school or college.
That's true.
I wore like a beanie over a hat.
Dude, we were doing this, and then someone saw it, and they were like, what if we built the beanie and the brim into one? And
people were those too.
What was that about? It was like 06. Someone was like, we're doing that.
Gotta block the sun while wearing a beanie.
It was strictly like an 06 to 07 thing. And in 08, people were like, that hat sucks.
Weird. Yeah. They were everywhere. You guys wouldn't understand it. They were everywhere.
I definitely did the brim with the beanie on top for sure.
Yeah, I did.
And I looked cool as hell.
So that was my first take, beanies with brims. No,
I like it.
I wrote about this in my mailbag. So some of you guys already know it, but I feel like I can flesh it out more in audio form.
Can I trust tree you real quick?
Yeah. You didn't read it?
I missed your mailbag.
It's fine. That makes it better.
Okay.
So this is so simplistic. This is the most simplistic way to view the Patriots-Texans matchup. To me, all it comes down to is there's a gap between Drake May and CJ Stroud, right? A gap in talent, efficiency, everything, right?
A yawning gap, I would say.
But there's also a gap between the Texans defense and the Patriots defense, right? I think this matchup really only comes down to which gap is bigger. Whoever has a bigger gap is going to win this game.
I don't disagree. I'm processing. My indication of where this game is going to come down to is, I don't want to call it entirely luck with the way fumbles bounce.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
But whichever quarterback cannot turn it over, because you saw, I mean, it was 10-6 Monday night in Pittsburgh, a tight game. CJ Stroud was having a choke job for the ages, like the likes of which we haven't seen in years, maybe decades, a quarterback meltdown on the big stage like this. And then you see a strip sack get brought back for a touchdown.
CJ Stroud.
Fumbling shotgun snaps, picking them up, and then fumbling again. the way that defense, and we know how good they are and everything, standard issue.
Mm-hmm.
When they can score, when they can turn it over in the red zone, et cetera. That is the type of thing. That is to me pretty much the only way the Patriots lose to that team, because that Texans offense, as much as the Patriots defense isn't as good as they were last week, that was probably their best performance we'll see of the entire year. That Texans offense is going to struggle to score, even if the Patriots defense comes down to earth a little bit, especially with Christian Gonzalez likely on the way back to playing again. I don't see the Texans scoring on offense more than 10, 13 points. So it's really going to be possessing the ball, not coughing it up, and Drake May having to make some plays. But to me, if you don't turn it over, I think the Patriots win this game and win it as comfortably as a good, tight game against a good defense can be.
I agree with that too. I was just on the Joe Murray show. I was talking about the importance of turnover ratio. So I'm right there on board with you. Because, Drake May turned the ball over 3 times the last time he played the Texans, but that was 15 months ago. Not the same person, not the same quarterback. All the particles in him have changed at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the turnover particles are among those that have changed. CJ Stroud, however, still turns the ball over at a decent clip. And we saw that against the Steelers. I think it is asking a lot for the Patriots defense to fully replicate their performance against the Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
But I also do think it's possible given this Texans team. The Texans offensive line isn't as terrible as the Chargers, but it's still pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
Justin Herbert's a better quarterback on paper than CJ Stroud.
Yeah.
I'm not that worried about Woody Marks. I don't know how you feel about Woody Marks.
He's fine. Like my opinion, and maybe I'm going too soon with this. You tell me. I think Woody Marks will have like 100 yards, and I think Dalton Schultz will have like 60 yards, and that'll basically be it.
Interesting. I don't know if Woody Marks is going to get there because the Patriots run defense, now that Spillane and Milton Williams and Kyrus Tollinger and all those guys are back.
Well, I'm not
convinced.
Consider this. We assume Nico Collins won't play because
which is huge, and we'll get into that. Yeah,
it's huger than huge because he accounted for 20% of their yards from scrimmage.
I just said it's huge.
Huger than huge. That. Yeah, disrespectful because he's the only Texan with over 1,000 yards from scrimmage. He had 1132, 1,130.
3 straight 1,000-yard performances.
It was the entire offense because you had Woody Marks with 911, 700 of which were on the ground. Dalton Schultz, your tight end, 777. The next receiver wasn't until Jaden Higgins with 525 yards from scrimmage. So, like, the receiving core behind, I know Christian Kirk had a great 2 plays the other night that sort of were the entire offense. So you got to cover him. You've got guys that can cover him.
Yeah.
And I just think that is, if you can, maybe you don't fully stifle Marks and Schultz. But I don't think they have enough firepower to really go out and score 17, 20, 25 points.
I actually went to Marks and Schultz when I got into a car accident, had to sue someone. So I went to Marks and Schultz.
Yeah. Did you win?
Great law firm there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I won.
Good. I'm glad for you. But you know what I mean? Like this, it's getting attention, but I don't know. Maybe I paid too much attention to the Texans this year. That offense has stunk. I mean, we've seen them on national TV a few times. You see Nick Caley on the sidelines trying to figure it out. It is not a really impressive offense in any way. And you take the best player out of it, I don't know how they're going to do after I don't know. I really don't. Unless,
and like I hate to speak about concussions in the way that we have to talk about them in this matchup because clearly they're more important than just like who's going to win a football team. Like we care about the safety and everything of Christian Gonzalez and Nico Collins, but this is like almost fumble luck when you talk about the fact that Christian Gonzalez, the Patriots' number 1 or 2 best defensive player, suffered a concussion on Sunday. Nico Collins suffered a concussion on Monday. Gonzalez was back at practice in a red non-contact jersey today, and Collins wasn't out there. And like, it's just the way the ball bounces on this one where you never know how someone's going to respond to a concussion. The fact that Collins happened a day later, and it just is a massive part of this matchup to have Christian Gonzalez at this point seemingly trending to play and Collins not.
Yeah.
And that it's those players, because like Gonzalez would have probably shadowed Collins on some snaps. He's that good.
Right.
And now you can just kind of play sides, and you really don't have to worry that much about Jaden Higgins or Jalen Noel or Christian Kirk, even though he had a big game, or Xavier Hutchinson. Like, those guys just don't reach the same level as Nico Collins.
Yeah. And with the concussions, I mean, you do never know, but one looked bad. One saw a man slamming his head down on the turf and getting carted off.
Yeah.
The other, Gonzalez stayed in the game after he was got rolled on basically. And the way
Right. It wasn't nearly the same level of force.
Yeah, it looked to me like someone landed on his neck and he was sort of, I don't know, but I'm not a doctor. But the way Vrabel talked about saying they wouldn't let him back in indicated to me like it was already on the edge.
Yeah.
But so I do think that is a huge factor. And like you said, I mean, I don't know. Just because of one good night, I don't think Christian Kirk is going to put a ton of fear. Like, I think either Gonzalez or Davis can cover him. And that leaves...
or Marcus Jones. I mean, I think he's primarily been a slot guy in his career.
I don't know what you do though. Like, Higgins had 4 targets. Hutchinson had 4 targets. Mm-hmm. Like, they don't have an offense outside of Nico Collins, and you got a short week with an inexperienced offensive play caller, travel involved, and a quarterback who, I mean, all this talk, Doug, what do you think about CJ Stroud? Because, like I said, that was a real gag job with the fumbles, with the interception. But by 11 o'clock at night, he had a road playoff win in a tough environment. Do you think there's an element where it's like, oh, well, he got all his jitters out and he'll be confident? Or do you think you can not game plan, but sort of potentially expect a similar showing when the lights turn on Sunday night afternoon?
It's certainly possible, because it's going to be relatively cold compared to what CJ Stroud usually plays in. I don't think he's a great cold weather quarterback, so that lends me to think that we could see somewhat of a repeat performance. I don't think you can ever count on someone fumbling 5 times in a game again. That's just obviously...
But it wasn't just, it was, and Drake May struggled with this against the Chargers too, just the recognition that there was no safety in the pocket.
Right.
You saw the flea flicker they ran, which took forever, and there's someone coming at his face, and he just doesn't see it after that long time. Like, his internal clock was all thrown off. Again,
I do think we might be overlooking Stroud a little bit, though, based on last week. Because, like, in general, he's not a horrible quarterback.
No,
like, he's not even like he was, I guess, somewhat average this year.
19 touchdowns and 8 picks.
Right, including the playoffs. Now 20-9. Last year is 21 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. Not great. As a rookie, he was obviously much better. 26 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. He's kind of settled into being an average quarterback. And maybe it's just my own brain doing this, but there's part of me that's like, oh, this is like a Tua Tagovailoa level quarterback that they're facing. And that's not fair to say. But my question on this is, heading into this matchup, do you fear might not be the best word, but do you fear CJ Stroud less or more than you did Justin Herbert?
I fear no man.
Okay, Mike Vrabel.
I fear no man. It's a fair question, because if it were October, I would say Justin Herbert, but he now has his playoff thing sort of on his shoulders.
Yeah, but we didn't know that it was like a full trend as of last week.
Yeah, I would say Herbert played better against the Patriots than Stroud did against the Steelers.
Wow, it might be.
That's
a really good debate.
I mean, he was pressured 30 times, so it's kind of a thing you can't really argue. But I think Stroud fumbling snaps.
Yeah.
Fumbling, throwing the pick, coming out of halftime. It's like, all right, they're driving.
Right.
3rd down in the red zone. You've got points in a game where points are rare, and he just throws it. He just throws a horrible pass. So I and not just that. You watch the game, right? how many third down passes did he kind of panic, scramble, run to the line, and throw this like fingertip spike at people's feet? Like Schultz caught one once, but there was the accuracy on third down was frightening. So I think the answer is still Herbert, even despite all the playoff thing. Like what I saw Monday night was alarming.
I agree. I think that there was more concern or fear, whatever you want to call it, about Herbert last week than there was for Stroud this week. And now, based on what we've seen out of Herbert for 3 playoff games, I don't know if that's justified or not. But I think when it all comes down to it, what we're ultimately saying is that like this is not a quarterback that you have to fear heading into this matchup, which is obviously very beneficial for the Patriots.
Yeah, and like we said, like Woody Marks is good, but I don't think
he's like fine. He's a rookie running back. Like
he's not James Cook.
He's
not going to take the game over. I don't think. Don't clip this. Woody Marks.
It feels the same, maybe even slightly. He's like slightly worse than what the Chargers potentially had in Hampton and Vidal.
And can I add one more log to this fire before we move on? You're talking about Justin Herbert versus CJ Stroud generally.
Mm-hmm.
CJ Stroud without Nico Collins,
right?
I don't know what's there because even
he did actually play one of his best games without Collins this season, but I don't know who that was against.
I'd have to check, but
yeah,
I looked up the yardage earlier. I just looked up the targets. The leader in targets this year for the Texans was Nico Collins with 120, as you might imagine. Next was Dalton Schultz with 106. So you got 2 guys over 100. After that, it was Higgins with 68.
Yeah.
So like literally this offense ran through. Nico Collins was like, in basketball terms, he was the point guard. Like the ball went through Nico Collins. So it's a slightly different sport. So I honestly don't know. And Nick Caley, I don't think has sort of blossomed as one of the great offensive minds that a lot of people thought he would after the time in LA. He's had some issues there. So to take away sort of the binky or whatever, like the linchpin of the offense on a short week where you're going to go on the road, I have low expectations for what the Texans offense is going to be able to do Sunday.
Yeah, I agree. And I think the Patriots defense, I don't know, like it feels weird to say that they just like turned this corner into being an absolute elite defense in the wild card round of the playoffs. But they've been gelling all season. And then to get that influx of Milton Williams, Robert Spillane, and Harold Landry all back in one game, and now you get Tonga back as well, it's not out of the realm of possibility that they just are this good. And that some of the issues that we've seen since midseason were because Milton Williams and Robert Spillane were out. And maybe we are now seeing like the final form of this defense where they can confuse the hell out of opposing offenses and they can generate pressure using blitzes. Like CJ Stroud is not very good against pressure. He's fine against blitzes, but I think that if you can get pressure on him from blitzes, that's obviously a plus. It feels like this could be a difficult matchup for Stroud with the way that the Patriots complicate matters on defense.
Yeah, that is, for as much as we're doing the Stroud to Herbert comparisons, I think the biggest thing this week is, now you got to go against a real offensive line. There's not what last week presented.
It's real. Yeah, it's real. It's not good, but it's real. Yeah.
And now I do have some questions about PFF's grades on offensive linemen, but when they do the introductions and every starter on your offensive line is either last or second to last, there's something there. So I think that is an element. And just to follow up the game that CJ Stroud had without Nico Collins this year and played really well, it was the 49ers. He had 318 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick.
Yeah,
on
so
39 attempts.
Pick. But
so
yeah, I mean, looking at the Texans PFF grades for their O line, old friend Jake Andrews 62.3, Arante Ursary 57.5, Titus Howard 61, Ed Ingram 74.2, and old friend Trent Brown 69.0. So yeah, I mean, it's like they're fine. There's not a huge standout player among that group. My colleague and I, Andrew Callahan, were talking today about which team has more like raw talent.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, it's obviously the Texans, right? And I shouldn't even reveal that because it was just a conversation that we were having in private.
Out.
But then I was like, I don't know. Because like quarterback, the Patriots have the edge. Running back, they've got the edge. Wide receiver without Collins, they've got the edge. And the real one was the offensive line, where it's like the Patriots have a standout player in Owenu. You like Campbell more than Ursery. They're two rookies. Morgan Moses has been better than Trent Brown this season. And then Garrett Bradbury versus Jake Andrews. I think you're taking Bradbury on that one. So then it comes down to Jared Wilson and
Titus Howard,
Ed Ingram or whatever. Ed Ingram is better than Jared Wilson, but it's or Titus Howard is better. But they've probably got the edge in like 3 or 4 out of 5 of those spots.
I think what makes it difficult is how spectacular the defensive backfield of Houston is, and how spectacular the defensive line. Like the level of better is probably greater in those areas.
Right.
It makes it feel like it's Houston, but I guess if you go position by position, you might have more numbers for New England.
I think Will Anderson might be the most underrated player in the NFL.
Not for long.
It's not going to be for long, but at this point, he's still hitting enough that people mention his name. People like ball knowers mention Will Anderson, but he's not nearly a household name like a Micah Parsons or a Myles Garrett or a TJ Watt. And he, after the first 3 seasons of his career, probably belongs in that conversation a lot more than he is.
Yeah, absolutely. I recently saw, I guess I probably saw it at the time, but missed when they got him in the draft via trade with, who was it? Why am I blanking?
Was that the Panthers?
It was someone who I think recently got let go. So, come on, Michael.
2023 would have been, that was the year Stroud was taken too, right?
Yeah, but they got the number 3 pick in a trade. I have to look it up now. This is probably our strength and our failure. I have the 23 draft up. They got it from Arizona.
Oh, Arizona. Okay.
Yeah. And it was just like they knew.
Right.
They knew. They were like, well, let's get the quarterback. Like, what if we could get both?
Right.
And they did. And so I think, I mean, Anderson's turned out to be the better pick through 3 years. It didn't look that way as a rookie. So, no, that's the biggest issue. And that's why you worry. That's where the Patriots can lose the game. I think that level of talent on the defensive line, if he's getting strip sacked, anything can happen.
Right.
And that can just throw game plans in the garbage. And then suddenly you're playing from behind against a great defense that's got their teeth out. They've got their ears pinned back on the edges, as we like to say, and you're in trouble.
Teeth out.
So yeah, I just think, and another thing I was talking about with Gasper the other night is, if you remember back to the Myles Garrett game, they tried to give help to Will Campbell, and it almost was a disadvantage.
Yeah,
it almost worked. He struggled when he got chip help from Hunter Henry or a running back. Like he's probably better hunting than waiting back against an elite pass rusher. So it's not something you can just sort of easily take care of with a little extra help, unless you keep a 6 lineman in the block. I don't know, which they have done.
We got a comment here. Tell y'all don't watch the Texans. LOL. The problem is Kaylee and the O-line for Houston. I feel like we've kind of been saying that, right?
Yeah, for sure. We did. Not the O-line as much, I guess.
I don't
there's going to be a defense.
Good. I don't know.
There's going to be.
So is that to say that Stroud isn't the problem? Because Stroud's definitely still a problem.
I think there's going to be a defense of the quarterback because people like him. He had a great rookie year, but
right.
he has not taken steps forward like you would have expected by year 3.
Right.
And again, Monday night was an unbelievable meltdown by the quarterback. There's no other way. There's no other way to gussy that up. So the question just becomes, like I said earlier, did he get that out of his system, or is he going to come out and be just as bad Sunday night? Like that's what you don't know. I don't know that I know anyone that could play that poorly in a playoff game on the road and then just be better 6 days later.
Yeah,
but I suppose we'll see.
I pose a question to you. What would a loss to the Texans do for this 2025 Patriots season for you?
This is another one we discussed the other night, and I'm going to go with the same answer. It depends what it looks like.
That's
if
fair.
you lose 14-13, like there's no shame in losing to a team with a defense this good.
Right.
If you lose 30-6, like the Steelers did on a night when the quarterback fumbles 5 times and they lose their best player in the middle of the game. That is shame. That is there's shame in that. You screwed up. You played poorly in a big spot, and now you got to live with that. So I don't think we can make it a referendum on the whole season.
Right.
I think we know that. We've established that, right?
Yeah.
The season's a
like
success.
They shouldn't be this far. So even a 36 loss in theory should not feel that bad.
Yep.
But it does feel like this Patriots team is rolling right now. I'm still not this feels crazy to say, even though we're like 3 weeks away from it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still not like legitimately thinking of a Super Bowl for this Patriots team. And obviously I should be because they're getting close. Yeah. But like that thought hasn't like fully manifested in my brain yet.
Here's my thought on that. They're not, the term house money gets thrown around a lot. They're not officially in house money territory until it's the Bills or the Broncos in Denver.
That's fair.
Then it's a situation.
This Texans team, like the defense is great, but it's still the 2025 Texans.
Correct. And let's say, the Bills beat the Broncos this week and they come to Gillette next week. They're going to be favorites, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure the Bills will be 2 or 3 point favorites to start. And
right, until they're underdogs, yeah.
And that doesn't mean like this is easy. It doesn't mean any of that. It doesn't mean this is a guaranteed win or anything like that. But I think it's a game you kind of got to win because the season has been defined by good fortune, both with the schedule, with the injury, with the Drake May pairing with Josh McDaniels, who, remember, people were like, did Vrabel even want Josh McDaniels? Like, everything has sort of worked out, including getting a Texans team with very little offense, likely without their best player, coming to you on a short week in January.
Right.
That is a gift, and it's just like you got to take the gift.
Yeah. Yep. No, I'm there with you. I will say I don't want to create a bulletin board material for the Texans, but
we already have
36 win. That's a fraudulent 30-6.
I mean, technically, it was bad football to take the pick six in the end zone. It was like 2.5 minutes. You want to kneel that down and the game. But also, there was no way the Steelers were possibly going to score at all. So it was just sort of fun. So I don't begrudge them for that. But yeah, the scoreboard.
But that game was very close until early in the fourth quarter when everything kind of blew up.
Yeah, the scoreboard's a liar in that one. It was too tight. The Steelers, I watched the week before against the Ravens, and I made a declaration. I might have made it on the Pats Chat podcast. I said that team will not score next Monday night against the Texans. And they came out and scored in the opening drive, and I said, dang it, I was wrong. But that was about it. 6 points. Yeah. That offense was terrible. Aaron Rodgers can't move. He was getting wrecked. Outside of DK Metcalf, it was slow motion city. So you're right, 30-6. Like it shouldn't have been as close as it was until two defensive scores too.
Yeah, no, exactly. One last topic before we take a break and talk about prize picks. Darrell Taylor signed to the Patriots practice squad today. An interesting move. Mike Vrabel said that they thought about signing him this free agency. It didn't work out. He signs with the Texans. He gets cut. The Patriots pick him up and sign him to their practice squad. When I tweeted out that the Patriots had cut Elijah Mitchell, I had a lot of Texans fans in my mentions being like, they got to do it. They got to sign Elijah Mitchell. They got to get back at the Patriots. It doesn't feel like a big deal.
How long was he on the Texans?
This season.
The whole year?
Yeah. Listen, if you don't want the other team to sign the guy, don't cut him.
It's also, as many have stated, it's not like a super complex trickery defense.
That's the thing.
It's a talent, line it up and we'll beat you type defense.
They don't blitz. They don't mask their coverages. They just kind of go out there and punch you in the mouth.
Hit the absolute hell out of you. So there's no great strategery being gleaned from that.
Yeah, I don't know what they would be. Maybe, and like everything on offense, Nick Caley learned from Josh McDaniels. Ben McDaniels is there as the wide receivers coach, right? I'm not making that up. Yeah,
there's a lot of talk about all the like sort of institutional knowledge that former Patriots people have, and I'm just kind of like,
it goes both ways.
It goes both ways, and it
goes more so. I feel like the Patriots way in this one.
I don't know, like Cole Popovich is there and stuff like
Yeah,
that. But
but
it's kind of just like, am I wrong, or has the head coach changed and has the
that's the
quarterback
thing.
changed? Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure it's
Defense
helpful.
is completely different.
Yeah, so I'm not sure exactly.
And like McDaniels knows all the same things that those guys know about McDaniels.
Yeah. Yeah, not to cut you off, but just to I was thinking as you were talking about, like, we were talking about the season, the Super Bowl and all that. To me, I mean, I think like everyone sort of jumps to 01 and how that playoff run
Right.
felt. I think it's more like 96
Mm.
because you beat the Steelers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you host the Jaguars in the AFC Championship game, and the Jaguars had just beat the Broncos in Denver.
Right.
So I think you're thinking, I don't think the Jaguars I think they were like 9-7, 10-6,
Right.
whatever. But they had Tom Coughlin. They had things working.
Mm-hmm.
They won this big game, and you're kind of like, I don't know, can they win it? And then they beat the crap out of the Jaguars to go to the Super Bowl.
Right.
And it wasn't until they beat it was the fourth quarter and they're playing the song from the Wizard of Oz that everyone was like, oh wow, they are going to the Super Bowl.
Right.
And it was the first time, in my life where everyone was, swept up in the just going to the Super Bowl fever. Yeah. I feel as though this season more mirrors that one, not mirrors, but more closely matches that one than any that we've seen in the Tom Brady era.
Yeah, I would completely agree. And I think that even if they do, and we're getting out in front of our skis here a little bit.
I'm just saying if it happens.
If they do make the Super Bowl, I think being there and covering it and watching it and following along with it will feel different than those Belichick Brady Super Bowls did, because the expectations are so much different and just the whole vibe and feels can be so different.
There's also, like, everyone's done this, right? Pick out your Super Bowl matchups that are possible right now, and none of them seem real. None of them seem possible. All right. Texans, Bears, Bills, Seahawks, Broncos, Rams. I guess that one sounds the most manageable. I know the 49ers without Kittle, I don't know. Like they're and probably without Fred Warner. I know he opened it, but like there's no team where you're like, oh, they're going to the Super Bowl. It just doesn't.
Right.
It doesn't play out like that. It's not looking like that. And I don't know the
even
last
Broncos Seahawks, like that's already been a Super Bowl. But just imagining like Darnold, Knicks, Broncos Seahawks.
It's crazy. It really is.
McDonald. I mean, I guess the coaches, I don't know. Yeah, it is wild.
I guess I've been a little locked in on the Patriots, but right. I do see the Broncos are 1.5 point favorites at home, which says people like the Bills.
Yeah, I mean, like Bills Rams feels like a real Super Bowl.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even
just because quarterback play is such a big factor.
Like I was just kind of looking at the quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And obviously,
I mean, the Seahawks are a touchdown favorite at home against the Niners, but you throw in the whole divisional thing. It's right. Probably going to be competitive, but I think the Seahawks will be one win away from a Super Bowl against either the Bears or the Rams. I guess the Rams do make sense because of the head coach and the quarterback.
The Seahawks have the Seahawks have a pretty good path to the Super Bowl right now, it feels like.
I agree. I do. Like, let's say they do get the Bears. Right. They might be 7-point favorites again.
Yeah. And the Rams, their defense is just so whatever lately. They're beat up. I feel I don't know. For a Seahawks fan, this has been somewhat of not as much of a dream season because they were better last year, but I think at this point there would have to be some disappointment if they don't make it, given their path.
At least the championship game.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about prize picks. You know what I did? I actually put together a prize picks lineup without you. Sorry if that feels like I cheated on you or anything.
Well, I'll just say I hope you got them all wrong and everyone knows who the real genius is of this pair.
Is that
well, or I'll say if I agree or not.
That might happen. Yeah, so tell me if you agree with these.
Okay.
You're out of spite, you're gonna be like, no, that's horseshit. You're terrible. Drake May, more than half a passing touchdown.
More than.
Ramondre Stevenson. Okay, yeah, no, okay. So Drake May half a passing touchdown. You're gonna go more than on that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Ramondre Stevenson, 36.5 rushing yards.
Always a risk, but that's a low number. I'll take the more than.
Woody Marks. Ooh, actually, you already said that one. Stephon Diggs, 48.5 receiving yards.
What do you mean you already said the Woody Marks one?
I'll get to it in a second.
Okay.
But Stephon Diggs,
48.5?
Yeah, 48.5.
I'll take less than.
Ooh, wow. I want more than just because, like, I can't imagine him not having a big game 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, against his former team. People
Right.
forget he was a Houston Texan. I looked at the stats at halftime last week, and 6 guys had 1 catch. It's like the ball spreads around. There's no stickiness. So I'll take a less than on pretty much any receiver for the Patriots.
So I want more than. And you're probably going to disagree with this one as well, but Woody Marks, 56.5 rushing yards.
Yeah, I'll take the more than. I think he's going to get 56.5 carries. So
I went less than on that one. So we do disagree a little bit on that, but that's how I'm feeling. And I guess we just started talking about Prize Picks without even telling you what it is, but this episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. Whether you're starting your routine for the first time, sorry, I messed that up. Whether you're starting your routine or making player picks for the first time, trying something new can be hard, but in life and on Prize Picks, it always feels good to be right. With high-pressure playoff matchups every weekend and elite hoops action almost every night, the action never stops, and Prize Picks lets you take control. And if you do download the Prize Picks app today, you can use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Let's see if you how confident. No, let's not do Marks and Diggs, even though you disagree with those. Let's pull a couple of these other ones real quick. How do you feel about like Drake May passing yards or passing plus rushing yards?
It's risky. Can I get punting yards? Are punting yards available? I think there's gonna be a lot of punts. So I'm not feeling a big yardage total for pretty much anyone.
I think that's fair.
Thank you.
I don't think I see punts.
Dang.
What about turnovers?
For individuals?
Yeah.
I like Stroud to cough the ball up. I'd like to take that. I'd like to take a more than.
So I think we've got interceptions. Do you want an interception for Mr. Stroud?
Not my favorite. I prefer the fumble Ruski, but yeah, why not? He coughed it up. Accuracy was an issue. You said Gillette was rocking last week, so I expect more of the same this week.
What about a Will Anderson sack?
Yeah.
So we'll go more on that. Now let's get a Patriots one in here for you. Any players you feel strongly about?
Do we get are there like tackle numbers here? Because there's going to be a lot of tackles.
That is fair. I think we can get assists again.
Okay. Don't you feel like Spillane's going to have a big role? He didn't have that many tackles last week.
Unfortunately, it's Ellis, Davis, and Landry for the Patriots.
You know, I'd have to. It's tough. It's tough to go blind. You know.
So wait, Woody Marks 16 rushing attempts. You're gonna say more?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, let's do those 3. Wait, we need a Patriots one.
What if you go real crazy and do like a Christian Gonzalez interception?
Ooh, that might be a little too crazy.
It shouldn't be, but it could be.
I don't think we can do that.
Marks last week had 112 yards on 19 carries, by the way.
That's a lot. Drake May completion percentage, 66.1. CJ Stroud, 63.7. Ooh, tackles plus assists. Robert's playing 6.5. You want to go more?
Yeah.
All right, I like that.
All right, how I said, by the way, Woody Marks will have 100 yards?
Yeah.
Last week was his first 100-yard game. So
see, that's why I think
not a ton of them.
You're kind of crazy.
He's pretty good, though. Watched him a lot.
He's fine.
He's pretty good. He's fine.
We would win $140 for this one. So Michael's feeling good about it. All right. Prize Picks. Use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups with your first $5 lineup. Quote of the week. New segment.
Quote of the week.
Will Campbell. I don't give a shit what anyone says, to be honest with you. It's easy to type behind a Twitter account that is fake. I hold myself to the highest expectations. I want to be perfect. That was Will Campbell when asked how he deals with what people say about him. One takeaway from that: has there been a worse rebrand than Twitter to X? No one says X.
If the young kids are still calling it Twitter, like if
Yeah.
you and I still call it Twitter, it's because we're old and we don't accept change.
If a 21-year-old from Louisiana is still calling it Twitter,
Yeah. Like it hasn't been called Twitter in like what, 4 years?
long time, yeah.
Yeah. And also, let's just be clear, he gives some shit. If you make a statement that
Right.
you don't give, like you do give a little, but that's okay. Good quote, definitely good quote. And I
Curious
think
to see how he does against Will Anderson.
it was a little weird that he talked about how much money the Chargers make at defensive end. That was a little strange, but I get it. Like he's just saying they weren't scrubs, but
Yeah.
I don't know, getting bull rushed by Khalil Mack, who's talking about potentially retiring after the game. It's not, there was some. He said 2 or 3 snaps. It was probably a few more, but
Right.
I respect the mentality at this time of year.
Yeah, he's been fun to talk to in recent weeks. One thing I mentioned this on Joe Murray, but I want to talk about it here too. It's Wednesday now.
Mm-hmm.
I maybe have just been like, in the Twitter streets a lot over the last, let's call it, second half of the season. I also recently switched off the For You tab on Twitter on my
Can you
phone.
do that?
And I was
Wait,
I
how
was
do I
like,
do that?
why is Twitter so boring? And I realized it's because I did it. If you just go to following instead of For You.
Oh, I do that, but it's just one swipe, and then I'm back to For You.
So I've been keeping away from the For You. So I'm
Oh,
curious,
so
as someone who's been on For You.
self-restraint is how you did it, and that's something I don't have.
So have you seen any vitriol whatsoever from Texans fans outside of the Darrell Taylor signing?
No.
Isn't that interesting? Like
You
I'm still seeing
mean,
it from Chargers fans. I'm still seeing it from Bills fans.
well,
But
Bills
like
fans, there's a history there. I think, the
I'm still
Texans
seeing
and
it from Rams fans about the MVP.
I mean, there's not much of a Patriots-Texans bad blood.
Right, but they're about to play in a playoff game. I don't know.
I don't think there was Texans-Steelers bad. Maybe the Texans are just good folks, nice people. I don't know. No,
Maybe it's just not a very rabid fan base. I don't know.
it is an interesting thought. Maybe they don't go on the internet as much as we do, and they're better off for it. I'm not sure what it is. Maybe they're on Threads.
Maybe they're on Threads.
Yeah,
Big blue sky folks in Houston.
Texans like the alt social medias. No, I don't know, but yeah, you're
Maybe
right.
they're on Facebook.
I would guess once something happens Sunday night, if Milton Williams clubs the quarterback and doesn't get called, I'm sure things will get fiery and spicy. But yeah, you're right. It has been pretty quiet, and I think I did see some. It was probably my For You. I forget what it was, and it was like the national media hates us, blah blah blah, doesn't care about us from a Texans perspective, and I'm like, well, you had ESPN sort of introduce Zach Core the other night on Monday Night Countdown.
It's on my outline.
So perhaps they're kindred spirits in that regard, where you feel a little overlooked.
Do you feel like Pete Schrager misspoke? Or do you think
No,
he actually thought that he was calling plays for the first time
I
on
believe
Sunday night?
the latter, and he did try to. So on Monday Night Countdown, Peter Traeger introduced it as so Terrell Williams couldn't call the plays due to health issues. So they said, Zach Core, you're calling the plays tonight, and he did against the Chargers, and he called an amazing game. And Dan Orlovsky was like, "Whoa, really?" And he tried to clean it up in a tweet, like, "Oh yeah, I didn't mean it like that, but sorry
Oh, he
if it
did.
came
Oh, he did try to clean it up.
in like a reply." And it was like, "Sorry if it came across that way." And it's like, no, it didn't come across that way. That's what you said.
Right.
Which in some regard is like, all right. I mean, maybe nationally you've got bigger fish to fry than who's calling defensive plays, especially with a defensive head coach. People
Yeah.
probably just assume Vrabel's been doing it. But to introduce it as sort of a mind-blowing piece of information on national
Right.
TV and to have your person next to you be like, what? Huh. A guy who is supposed to break down film and be an expert, just speaks to the Patriots perhaps not being expected to be here.
Yeah.
And people just didn't really do their homework expecting them to be here. And now you got to.
So yeah, he said, "I know that. I'm sorry if it wasn't delivered that way. Trying to give a coach his flowers. Not everyone knows the name. My bad, dog." Um, yeah, that was interesting. Because it's even just like obviously a much more serious situation for Terrell Williams too than
Yeah, it
being
was in the
like, oh,
news.
hey guys, I can't call plays tonight. Like, he's got prostate cancer. It's a serious situation, obviously. So,
Right.
yeah, I mean, I guess I don't expect every TV analyst to know that Zach Kerr Zach Core is currently the Patriots defensive play caller, but um, it felt I only quote tweeted it because I don't want people thinking that, oh, the Chargers didn't know what the Patriots were doing
Yeah.
defensively because Core had just taken over the defensive play calling duties. Like that's just not the case. He's been doing it
Right.
since week 2. Yeah.
It also Orlovsky tweeted probably Monday, like, I don't know what coverage the Patriots are in every snap. Like, I can't
Right.
tell. Like, and you would think that would lead to some curiosity as to who's running the
True.
defense. But that being said, I mean, it's not to be, I don't want this to be superior chat, because there was a coach this year that you and I both said, I have never heard of that man in my life. He
No, I
was
think it was the
running.
Jets GM.
Yes, we had never heard of the general manager of the Jets.
Yeah.
And like
Hand up, I'll admit to that one.
And I was just looking, the defensive coordinator of the Seahawks, Aiden Durday. I'm not familiar with his game.
Well, yeah, but that's Mike McDonald more than Aiden
it's Mike
Durday.
Vrabel then. But so it's like I'm just saying I don't.
No, it's true.
I'm not saying we're know-it-alls, but right. Just if you're bringing information to the TV like that, I think it just speaks to the larger thing, like I said, where it's like people were aware of the Patriots this year, but only on the surface level and the Drake May level.
Yeah.
And now they're at a point where people weren't expecting them to be here.
I had something else to say about the Patriots crowd on Sunday night and how good it was.
You love the crowd. This guy loves the crowd.
It was fun to It was fun to be there, and I don't think it'll be as good this week because it's a 3:00 game.
It's going to be dark in the second half, though. That makes a difference.
It does make a huge difference. And this is lame chat. I'm usually not this lame. This is something I don't even know who would usually say something like this, but there's an element of people in New England, people in Buffalo, people in, I don't know, they kind of need playoff football, like
Kansas
more
City?
so than other places. Just because, like, you got to get through January without
Pittsburgh,
playoff football.
Philly.
January and February, truly the worst months to live in New England.
January already sucks because you're like, it's Wednesday. There's no game tomorrow. Right. Wait. Like then you know there's only 3 games left after this week.
So if you're Joe Patriots fan, if the Patriots aren't playing on Sunday, what are you looking forward to? You're looking forward to a vacation in April, maybe? You're looking forward to summer on the Cape? You're looking forward to when the sun doesn't set at 5 p.m.?
Yeah.
Like, it gives New Englanders something to actually look forward to in January, which is pretty impressive.
True. Celtics Pelicans on a Tuesday night doesn't quite do it.
Not for me.
You're more of a hockey
season, guy. Not doing it for me too much.
Big Z going to the rafters tomorrow night. You gonna watch?
That'll do it.
Yeah. He's
That'll
a big
get
fella.
You.
Yeah, no, it's so what are you saying that the crowd's going to be a little
I think that it feeds into why the crowds are so good in New England in the playoffs and why they're so much better in cold weather cities, just because there's really not anything else to do right now. Like January, February, and March feel endless. Even April, a lot of the time, you're still in the 40s. You're still in the 30s and 40s. And you're like, when will the sun just come out? When will it be 70 degrees again? And the answer is like June.
This is it called SAD, seasonal affectation disorder? This is sad chat. This is just you need the sunlight, you need the vitamin D. You need a little boost. This got a little sad. But this isn't what you were saying, but we should say it because last week it was a topic. Indoor team coming to the cold. I think they were 1-14. The Chargers looked awful in the cold. Texans won in Pittsburgh. So I think there's something to be said there.
They did, but Stroud didn't look good.
He didn't, but I think that defense, it's not like they're a soft dome defense. And I think the Chargers weren't either. Yeah. The Texans, I don't even think the weather, which is going to be like mid-30s on Sunday. I don't think the weather is any
chance for snow.
I don't think there's any factor this week with the weather. I don't think it was the weather that made Stroud bad.
I think there could be a little bit of a factor. We'll see though. We'll see.
I just they didn't look affected by it the other night, except for Stroud, which might have been on the road in the playoffs. I don't know.
I think that's fair. I was going to say something and it just completely...
Was it about how sad you are that...
Oh, no. So I know half this podcast is me just like seeing things on the internet that make me mad from people who don't really technically matter.
And then the other half is us making sure everyone knows we said stuff either on the radio or TV before.
So you bringing up the Texans playing in a dome reminded me that someone tweeted something about Matthew Stafford playing in a dome.
Yeah, and someone argued it's not a dome.
And someone's like, oh, SoFi's not a dome. It's like, bro, SoFi is a dome. I'm like, yeah, there's an opening to it, but a stadium with a roof that's in Los Angeles where it's always somewhere between like 50 and 80 degrees, you're not like there's no benefit. There's no hindrance to playing quarterback in SoFi Stadium.
It can get a little warm once or twice a year.
Right. And it can rain on some fans once in a blue moon.
Yeah, no. And I think I saw that exchange too, because they put up a picture of like the sky through the glass. And then it was like, is this satire? Are we all being played? But yeah, I remember it was actually SoFi Stadium was the site of what I consider to be the worst play-by-play call of any football play-by-play man in history. And it was Joe Buck on a Monday night. Donald Parham of the Chargers, I think he went up and got hit in the head, or he landed on his head and was literally, shaking on the ground. He was unconscious. His arms were up, and he was having the reaction you have when you're having a severe concussion. And Joe Buck says, it is a little unseasonably chilly tonight. Temperatures in the 50s in LA. And I was just like, Joseph, he's not cold.
No.
He's not shivering.
Yeah.
That was unbelievable. But yeah, that is, it does drop into the 50s on nighttime games, apparently, late in the season.
What have you thought about some of the Al Michaels calls this season?
It's been sad. I'm a huge Al Michaels fan.
Me too.
He's really biffed it a lot. And part of it, I think, is he never clicked with Herb Street.
No, and Herb Street's not doing him any favors.
No, in the first year, I feel like they got tons of crappy games. And so I feel like he's a little checked out.
He's just never recovered from those, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he's been able to check back in. And I know he'll be back next year. I think maybe we celebrate next year because I think he's missing some of the basic facts in being correct and right about what's going on. I think he's the best to ever do it.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to push him out the door, but you don't want to see. I don't know. I never.
You don't want to get worse than it's gotten this year.
What everyone has always said my whole life is you don't want to see Willie Mays on the Mets.
Right.
Never saw it myself.
I feel like we were already there this year with Al Michaels. I don't think it's going to necessarily get better next year.
Yeah.
The Rashid Shaheed punt return was really the one that
one didn't bother. It's more like he like gets things wrong or doesn't know. He was just quiet, right? Or was just kind of not that excited.
He didn't react to the play until he was already in the end zone. And they started acting like he was returning. It was really, there was like a delay between what he was saying and what he was seeing.
I think you're right about Herb Street not helping him, and I never realized it when I watch college football games, and I love to watch the Saturday night game, whatever the big game is, and Herb Street's on there, and I don't know anything about the players most of the time. When he's talking about the middle linebacker for Utah, I'm like, yeah, but I know every NFL, and I know all these things that he's saying, and it's just so basic and stock that you're like, oh, he's not adding anything. And when you throw that in with the lack of chemistry, I think there's a lot of respect he has for Al Michaels, but it doesn't always lead to the best broadcast.
They don't have any more games now.
I believe last week was it.
Okay, so
this week you get, obviously this game's on ESPN.
You get Buck and Aikman.
Fox has Seahawks, 49ers, NBC has Bears, Rams, and CBS. You get Tony Romo back on the Bills call Saturday afternoon. He was under the weather. He said he was under the weather.
Really?
He said he was sick. I feel like
come across as sick.
I think the Romo, I don't know his contract. He's probably signed. I feel like that's ending. There's too much heat there. Like there was an awful announcing article at halftime on Sunday of the Bills game.
Well, it's also all the media critics who write for I can't keep track of where they write, whether it's New York papers or The Athletic or whatever. Like they are all on top of it so much. But the weird thing is that he's not improving. So I don't really know. Someone suggested, I forgot who this was, but do you have Romo replace someone on the pregame show and then have CBS hire
Matt Ryan? Matt Ryan,
probably. Right. Yes, that's who it was. Yeah. Do you have Romo replace Matt Ryan,
and then you go get Greg Olsen,
and then
something?
you go get Greg Olsen to pair, or you move Ian Eagle and JJ Watt into the top spot?
I don't think Watt's ready for the team. Watt's very good, but the number one team almost has. It's like doing the job is one thing, but you have to also sound a certain way.
That's fair. Yeah, I mean Olsen and Nance would be a very good pair.
How long's Jimmy Nance got left? You know, he's made so much money.
He's still doing. I think you don't boot someone off that until you're Al Michaels on prime.
I don't think you're booting, but he's 66. He's probably got another 5 years in him.
Yeah, I mean, how old is Al Michaels? Is in his 80s,
82,
right?
I think.
I don't think Nance is gonna go until he's 82, but you still got some years left.
That guy's so rich.
You know what? I shouldn't say this.
What?
I guess we can talk freely about this. I've never been the biggest Nance guy.
Yeah, but me neither.
He's fine. He's totally fine. Yeah.
The voice matches the moment.
Yes.
Yeah. The catchphrases are corny, but don't bother me that much.
I think like Al Michaels in his prime was bringing something.
Oh yeah.
Above and beyond.
He's the best.
And I think that Buck at times is that way now too. He wasn't 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah. When Buck and Aikman went to Monday Night Football, it sort of made Monday Night Football feel important again.
Yeah.
Where it had become sort of a sideshow. But
oh my God, some of the announcing crews on Monday Night Football there for a while were brutal.
And don't forget, Jim Nance was saddled with Phil Simms forever.
That is true.
That was tough.
Yeah.
All due respect to Phil Simms, but
no, I think Buck and Aikman, like the Patriots are in good hands with Buck and Aikman.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one. They're going to know what they're doing.
Brady's been doing a lot better. So, Brady's
in Seattle.
So that's Saturday?
the late game Sunday, I think.
No. That's
No. It's Saturday.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, it's Saturday.
Correct. Yeah, that's Saturday night.
That's good. I enjoy listening to Brady now at this point. I think he's gotten a lot better.
Yeah, and I think it's sort of, you don't think about it or talk about it much, the Tirico-Collinsworth pairing. Because,
so I'm missing Tirico and Collinsworth when I'm writing, right?
And Tirico has just been around forever, that it doesn't even feel like they made a major switch. It just sort of happened. But everyone was loving his work on the Tyler Loop miss in Week 18.
Oh, interesting.
Because of the way he set it up. They said it was some of his best stuff. And you know what? I think that's a perfectly... I know Collinsworth rubs people the wrong way. He's kind of grating the way he gets a little excited. But
I loved Collinsworth and Michaels. I don't like the pairing of Collinsworth and Tirico as much.
This has been chat.
Broadcast chat. Yeah, I'm not. I was good at that for a while, but yeah.
Yeah. I did have another Pat's thought, but you know what? I got sidetracked.
Let me see if I've got anything on my outline. I don't think I do. ESPN crew being wildly wrong.
I know what it was. What it was. So if you look up at the name of our episode tonight, it's what Christian Gonzalez's return to practice means for Patriots-Texans playoff matchup. Yeah. We did mention a little bit, but I don't know if
we talked about it. Yeah.
Briefly. We just assume he's going to play and have no great receiver to cover.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's huge. I think the fact that he could play and Nico Collins seemingly is trending towards not playing could absolutely shift this matchup as much as any, like, I guess that would be the same thing as like Will Campbell and Will Anderson, but not even. I don't know what the tit for tat would be on that, you know?
Yeah. But
Stingley and Diggs, I guess. Yeah. If Stingley and Diggs both had injuries and one guy could return and one guy wouldn't, that would be a huge shift.
Yeah. And we'll see. I'm sure. I mean, it's the playoffs. I'm sure Collins is going to push to play. It's just, it might be out of
the field. That's just, Yeah.
And he had a concussion earlier in the year and missed
Right.
time. So I think it's out of the Texans' hands, out of his hands. But I do think it's something that maybe I've talked about as if it's a foregone conclusion. I guess we probably won't know until they get in the plane Saturday.
Right.
Also, well, go ahead.
Well, I was going to do a non-Pats thought. So
Well,
continue.
I had one more broadcasting thought I meant to say. The way everyone acted, like it was an atrocity of all atrocities that Greg Olsen got demoted to the number 2 team.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was so overdone. I actually find his voice kind of grating, but he does a good job of insight. Mm-hmm. So it seems like a good number 2 guy, if you ask me. Did you catch Tony Dungy's tweet about fairness? About fairness and scheduling in the playoff?
Oh.
He's right, but
I do think it's kind of bullshit that the 49ers have to play on Saturday.
He said NFL playoff scheduling is not fair. It might produce good ratings, but it's not fair. This late and blah, 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 blah. Get to the point. But yeah, you have the Rams and Bears played Saturday last week, and they play Sunday this week.
Right.
And then you had the
49ers played on Sunday night in Philly. And they're playing
Was that
Saturday.
A night game? No, it was Sunday afternoon. It was before the Patriots game.
Yeah.
But then they have to play Saturday with travel back to the West Coast. So it's just, but I mean, he's not wrong. This is unfair. But I think fair left the station many, many moons ago. And I've said this before. It's a television show.
Yeah.
And that's just the way it is. And it's like, is it fair? Nope. But as I tell my kids sometimes, a lot of things aren't fair.
Right. Yeah.
Should it be fair? Yes.
Right. And I understand having the number 1 seeds play on Saturday because they have plenty of rest at that point. So giving them another day of rest doesn't really do them any good. But no, like having a West Coast team fly from the East Coast to the West Coast and then have to play on a short week's rest, it's not ideal, but
it's also like
it is what it is.
He brought it up too. There's no Week 18 Monday Night Football game because then it could be a disadvantage for that team in the playoffs. And then it's just like, but there is a wild card Monday night game.
Right.
They should probably not do that.
Which they should probably not do. It's a little crazy.
It's a lot crazy. I mean, the Texans got on a plane at 1 a.m. in Pittsburgh, flew back, whatever that is, 2.5, 3 hours to Houston, got in at 3, 4 a.m. So you lose Tuesday, You're recovering today, and you got to start prepping for a game 4 days from now. It's definitely BS, but from the Patriots' perspective, you have a pretty big advantage in that.
You do. Like the Patriots don't find out who they're playing, but you just kind of have to prepare for both teams at that point.
Yeah.
But yeah, you talking about Dungy reminded me of something else, but I forgot what it was.
Complaining, the Colts crying about something.
I recently, I haven't been able to watch Stranger Things until now. And I no spoilers whatsoever because I'm only through 3 episodes of season 5 now.
No, I got a spoiler for you. The things are strange.
The actor who plays Will Byers,
real bad,
is a terrible actor, right?
And this season, you just get a lot of him.
It's kind of like, why is he so much worse than everyone else?
I saw a tweet.
Is it because he barely acted in the first season?
I saw a tweet, funny enough, and it was someone I wish I could give credit. It was like, you can really tell which kids kept up with their acting lessons and which ones didn't. Because like the kid who plays sort of the funny looking kid with the hair, what's his name? What are their names? I already forget.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's a good actor.
Yeah.
The main kid, he's all right. You know, like Mike, he's okay. Right. There's varying degrees of whether they're good or not, but definitely the Will kid is brutal. And his older brother, brutal.
Yeah. But Will especially, I like, and I'm not super, I've never been like the craziest Stranger Things fan. So I was like folding laundry and put it on the other day. My wife doesn't want to watch it. So I'm just kind of watching it by myself.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, man, like he cannot act. And I guess when you cast a bunch of kid actors,
you don't know what's going to happen.
You don't know what's going to happen. I guess in some ways you're lucky that they're even still acting, like that they're even still willing to do this 10 years later or whatever it is.
Right. Dustin, by the way, I couldn't think of Dustin's name.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. He's good. The rest of them are fine, but good Lord, kid who plays Will Byers.
It's bad. It's real bad. I don't know what else to tell you. I went semi-viral today. Did you see it?
No, I didn't.
I think it was one. I think I got on the For You tab a lot because the Verizon, I have Verizon cell phone.
Do you have Verizon?
I do. So I'm driving to a doctor's appointment, and it's just like I wanted the GPS. Luckily, I knew where it was. Luckily, I still have some brain power in here. And the
That's
GPS
tough.
yeah. So a couple of weeks ago, I saw it and it said SOS, and I was on Wi-Fi, and I looked and I just did airplane mode off and on, and it worked again.
Yeah.
So I'm in the car and I'm doing that like 100 times. I can't look up if there's an outage. I'm driving. I get there, I realize it's an outage. But I get my car phone. I want to listen to music. Can't do that without service. So I busted out the trusty 124 CD book that I have.
Wow.
Tweeted out a picture of it, and not to brag, but it got some likes and replies.
Wow, you're gonna make a lot of money off Twitter this
Let's
month?
see.
This bye week?
It's got 111,000 impressions, and it was good free advertising for the band New Found Glory, who released a new song today. Wow, they should have retweeted it.
They really should have. Yeah.
That's good. Wow. That's good promo.
That's huge.
But yeah, I looked, all the replies, like none of them follow me. So it just must have got swept up in the Verizon outage sort of windstorm.
That's great.
Do you want another Twitter thought?
Sure.
I was on the internet today, and the right tab was like what's happening or today's news. And it was Sharon Moore interviews for Los Angeles Chargers offensive coordinator. And it was like the words were there, like a story. And I'm like, that's not real. I'm going to click this, and it's going to be. And I clicked it, and it was a satire account that tweeted it. And then it was millions of people responding to the and it's just like, this website, people say it sucks, but don't quite understand or grasp. Like, that is a fake story.
Yeah.
By an account that says, I am satire. Everything I post is satire. And there it was, everyone responding to it. It's just,
obviously I should be using like Blue Sky and Threads and all these other places. It's pure laziness to not cross post, but like Twitter's a bad place.
Yeah.
And it's a poorly functioning website, but it's where everyone got their news like 13 years ago now, so no one can quit it.
It's not good on breaking news anymore. It used to be so good and easy. You just had the stream flying at you. You were on top of everything. Now it's not. I learned some news recently from TV.
Yeah, you did.
Was that Harbaugh getting fired?
It was McDaniel getting fired.
It was McDaniel. We finished a podcast. I went upstairs. I had the TV on, and there it said on the TV, Mike McDaniel. I was like doing the dishes, and I was like, this is not how I learn news. This is supposed to come from X, the Everything platform. It's clearly changing, and it sucks. I don't like change.
One other thing that I think I mentioned on the radio, but I want to mention it here too. I have not checked this for it being a fact. Mike Tomlin has no coaching tree. He's never had an assistant become a head coach.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that is hard to do. I'm trying to think.
That's crazy. He's had a winning record every single year. They make the playoffs most of the time. And no one's ever looked at his assistants and been like, we got to hire that guy as a head coach.
Didn't Wisenhunt work for him?
I don't
know. Do I have that wrong?
Bruce Arians did, but that doesn't like really count.
He predated his tenure there, I think.
So, but like Wisenhunt was the Steelers offensive coordinator in 2006. So was Tomlin? I don't think Tomlin was there yet, right?
2007 or 8. Yeah. I mean, Dick LeBeau was there for a while and was old.
So so Tomlin came to the Steelers in 2007.
So yeah, I don't like. I'd have to. Arthur Smith was there. Was that this year?
That was this year.
Oh. Yeah. It's an interesting.
3 of Tomlin's coaching assistants have become head coaches in the NFL, NCAA, or USFL. Bruce Arians, which we kind of mentioned. Todd Haley of the Tampa Bay Bandits and Memphis Showboats.
Okay.
And Scotty Montgomery of East Carolina. All right. Not great that Wikipedia has to go to NCAA and USFL on that.
No.
Interesting. I don't think that's an indictment on Mike Tomlin.
I got a list now, okay? Did Todd Haley not get a head coaching job? Or was that after his head coaching? That was after his head coaching. That was after. Job. All right, so I'm going back. Wisenhunt was the OC from 04 to 06, so he was before Tomlin. Yep. Then you had Bruce Arians, Todd Haley, Randy Fichtner. I don't remember that. 2018 to 2020. Then you had Matt Canada. Was that 1 year?
I don't think
Those-
Matt Canada is even working at this point.
Yeah, and then you had Arthur Smith. So not great on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know how many years LeBeau was there, but it felt like a good chunk.
Right.
On defense, Flores was there, right?
Yeah.
Was he a position
not
coach
as a DC though?
He was a position coach.
Yeah, he was a linebackers coach.
Do you think he'll get a head coaching job?
I don't know. There's a lot of jobs open right now.
9?
And I think that he's among the 9 deserving candidates.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, especially if Tomlin doesn't go anywhere. So,
Right.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I think this could definitely be the year for him.
And especially because like it doesn't feel like teams are going to rush to give Dayball a job right away.
No, yeah, I don't think Dayball should get a job right away.
And generally speaking, as we know, only one Brian from the Belichick coaching tree can get the job because that's who Belichick will text congratulations to.
Exactly.
But yeah, it's going to be weird.
I know we might not agree on this one. I do think Mike McDaniel should, unless he thinks taking a year as an offensive coordinator will help him in the long run, because I actually do think there's some value in that. Like for Vrabel, obviously landed in the perfect situation, but I think there's some value in just like being like, all right, I'm going to take a year, clear my head, and not just jump into another job. If you're John Harbaugh, probably makes sense to jump into another job. But if you're a younger guy like Stefanski or Mike McDaniel or something, I think there's some value in sitting back. But if you're just hiring the best candidates, I think McDaniel should get hired. I think Stefanski should get hired. I think Harbaugh should get hired.
I think Stefanski has to work because he'll never be this hot of a commodity. I think McDaniel could almost increase his value if he runs an offense really well. Like if he goes to Atlanta, which I think makes a lot of sense as like an OC. I don't even, I mean, he's going to be taking head coach interviews, so he'll probably take a head coaching job. There's too many openings.
Right.
But I do think.
Yeah, as far as like if he took the Lions job and they're 14-3 next year.
Or the Eagles. Like if he ran a badass offense for a couple of years in a high profile situation, he would be the number one head coaching candidate in a couple of years. But I don't know that he's going to do that.
The fact that he had a winning record with the Dolphins, despite their quarterback situation. I mean, I know things didn't go perfectly there for him, but what record would you have expected out of the Dolphins for 4 years with Tua?
35-33. I mean, that's and then 0-2 in the playoffs.
Would you have expected a better record from him, given the circumstances?
I don't know. Flores did better than Flores had the worst roster in the history of the NFL, and what did he go? 5-11. That was a shocker. Then he went 10-6, 9-8. So Flores went 24-25.
Right.
With the worst roster.
Yeah.
So
no, I mean I think they both deserve to keep working.
That's true. Yeah, the situation there's yucky, I would say. Yucky situation.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think with Tomlin out there, it seems like he probably doesn't want to coach this year. If Tomlin's out there and you are a team like, let's say, the Jets, or a team that doesn't have a lot of confidence in your head coach, I think you have to have some real conversations about like, all right, what do we do? Let's give this guy a call and see what he would want.
Yeah. And I wonder
what we give him.
I wonder if the Vrabel situation impacts what some of these guys' thought processes is from the coaches themselves, where it's like he ended up waiting and getting a Drake May team.
Right.
If you go and take the Giants job right now, is Jackson Dart going to get you where you need to be in 3 years?
Not. Yeah.
If you take the Jets job, good luck.
Right.
If you take, I don't know, what other jobs are out there that
Raiders, Mendoza. I listen. Yeah. I think Mendoza's been really fun in college. I don't know how he is as a pro prospect.
You take the Arizona job.
Right.
Do you have let's end on this. Well, we'll probably close with predictions. You take over the sports world, right? You're in charge of all the sports. If I petitioned you that we got to get rid of the Cardinals, would you grant me my request?
I mean, it's the team that has the least interest in the NFL, I think.
Like, what do they do for anyone?
Right. And it's like a retirement community.
In the
I'm
football
sure
world,
that there
Emmett
are
Smith went there to retire. J.J. Watt went there to retire. This is actually a retirement community.
I'm sure there's some passionate Cardinals fans. There's barely any Cardinals reporters, and that's the real sign.
Right.
Today at Gillette, the media workroom was standing room only. There was like 60 or 70 people in there.
Not a big room.
I don't think that you could get 20 people at a Cardinals press conference.
They made the Super Bowl in 08.
Yeah. Wonder how many people traveled for it.
Larry Fitzgerald's dad, right?
True. Yeah.
He's very objective. That was we could let the man root for his dad.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we have gone probably 15 minutes too long, but
yeah,
I applaud everyone who stuck around, and we love you. I don't say that to people who only listen for 45 minutes.
Yeah. Text your friends that bailed after 40 that they didn't get the I love you.
If you're listening right now, I love you. How's that?
All right. What's your final prediction?
2017 Patriots.
Okay. I got like I do my field goal math. I think it's going to be 3 field goals and 2 touchdowns. That's 23. 23-13 Patriots.
Wow.
I think I think that offense, that Texas, it really comes down to turnovers, protecting the ball, and I think May had his missteps in a win, and they're going to be able to clean it up easier than the Texans will be with Stroud.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens, and we will be back on Sunday night around 9 or 10 p.m. So regardless of the outcome, we'll see you there. Goodbye.
Bye.